8. The young lady was taking my place. I showed her my files of all the things, the people she needed to be in touch with. We were spending around $7,000 to $8,000 a year on printing material. And I gave it to Ira Jackson's son and this other guy, I can't think of his name. It wasn't a week after I left, I understand she took it right away and gave it to Wright's Printing Company, big white company. This young lady is like 36, 37 years old. Why? But she just wanted to change. And no thoughts in her mind that she's going to give it to an African American company. Let me tell you something else. I never forget, and you probably might go with your busy schedule. You come to work every day, somebody's calling you 100 times a day, and you wonder why they keep calling you. There was a man calling me about doing plaques for our company. Well, we had a company doing our plaques. I didn't need anybody need to change. So he kept calling me, kept calling me, kept calling me. And my secretary said, that man is calling again, Brandon. I said, did you tell him we have a company we don't need? She said, yeah, but he keeps calling. So one day I walked in the office. He was sitting downstairs in the lobby. And I didn't know him, but he jumped up. Miss Antoinin, my name is Brandon. I looked and said, I heard that name before, because he called me 100 times. I said, well, man, why do you keep calling me? I told you we had a company. He said, but can I see you for just 10 minutes? Just give me 10 minutes. I said, okay. So I didn't take him in my office. I just went around the side to see what he wanted. He said, you're using, I can't think of the name, what is this big company down on North Avenue that prints plaques and sculpture, and I can't think of the name of it now. God, I can't think of it. Anyway, he said, you're using that company. He said, I know, this is a big white company. I had never dawned on me the company was a big. We were using that company when I came in the job. So I said, yeah. He said, well, I work for them at night. And what they charge you all, they don't charge the white people the same thing. You all are paying 12 cents a letter, where the white companies are paying 9. You'd be surprised. A little 3-cent letter makes a lot of difference in the cost of your press. And he said, and plus the fact, if the white people bring some plaques here, they'll do theirs first. And you remember you all be late a lot getting your stuff? He said, that's why. He said, King Center would have been the King Center. They ignored him. He said, and they'll let their plaques be the last thing they sent out on purpose. He said, I've been trying to get to you to tell you what they're doing. I can do your work. I'm trying to get my own business. And I work for them at night. And he said, and all this work is packed up that night. He said, I can tell you just what you say on your plaques. So he began to repeat just how our plaques read. And he said, and I don't have the money for the equipment. He said, but I'm trying to build my own company if I could get some contracts. He said, I graduated from Marsh Brown, but Marsh Brown won't hire me, will not give me any business. I can't get business from Morehouse, and I sent my son to Morehouse. He said, and my daughter's a clerk. I can't get them to give me any business. Our major colleges wouldn't even look at a black printer. He said, and Atlanta Life, this big company up here, I can't get nothing from them. All of them, I'm trying to think of the name of that company, all of them is giving their business to that big white company. Boy, that was blood in my face, mud in my face. Because the way I feel about helping our own, and I'm sitting in a chair that's allowing those kind of things to take place. I said, I'm too loud? What is the dog? Your phone. Oh, I'm sorry. Allowing those kind of things to take place right in front of my face. So to make a long story short, I felt so bad, and I gave him some plaques to see if it would work out. It did, and he began to print in all our plaques. And then I went to Morehouse, I went to Clark, I went to Marsh Brown, and I was working with NAACP, and then I went with King Center, gave him business, and his business was blooming. I don't know where he is now, but he was doing very, very well. Huh?
We use them.
You use them now? Brannon?
Yeah, right over here.
Cascade.
Yeah.
But they moved, didn't they?
I don't know if he moved.
But anyway, I gave him so much business till he just loved me to death for a long time. But it was just the fact that if we don't use our own, I mean, it's really, it irks me. I just get very angry. When I look at my church, I'm thinking about looking for another church. Here we are, the oldest Black Baptist church in the city of Atlanta. The oldest, built by slaves, started with slaves. And building a church, and then we couldn't find a black architect. And we have 2 architects in our church that they totally ignored. What's his name? He's not a member of our church, but Oscar Harris.
Yeah.
Oscar Harris has retired, and he offered to assist our church with whatever they need. He said, I could serve as a project manager, and I'll do it for you free. They didn't even call on him. They're paying a white project manager $300,000 to do it. Hello. And then they went and got a white architect who lives out in Cobb County, and I call him the Tea Party architect. That's what they got. With all of the architects in Atlanta, African Americans, they did not get him. And then they offered them one design. They looked at one design and had to choose from that. And it is degrading to our heritage. You look at the oldest black church, and let me say one other thing. Many architects have not had the privilege and opportunity to build churches, black churches. You know why? Because we buy white churches. The white people built. Look at Hoosier. Look at West Hunter. Look at all of these major, big, fine churches. We bought them from white people, okay? So most often, a lot of black architects are not privileged to build black churches because we have a tendency to buy. Look at Zion Hill over here, on right across from Jean Charles Young. That's what that church across the street from Friendship bought that church. So you look at Hoosier, you look at West Hunter, you look at all of these churches, you look at Providence, they were white churches. And so many black architects have not had, but what's the difference in building a school and building a building than it is building a church? There's not that much difference at all. But this lady who was in charge, and let's say to Denard, who's on the school board, who said, we got the best. So my church is split. All of everybody is very angry about that. And I see that demonstrated all the time with young people, just like the young girl, as soon as I came, gave all our business to a white printer, and we're using 2 young black printers here in Atlanta. And trying to think of the name of that printing company, Benchmark, big white printing company on 14th Street, Benchmark. We in our life had been given Benchmark the business all these years, and there was a qualified black printer who could handle it all. So we can't progress if we don't help each other. I preach on that forever and a day.
When we left off, we were talking about riches. Did you finish telling us everything?
Oh,
Talk about that.
I jumped from one thing to another.
Oh, no.
Well, the only thing I was saying about Riches was a major department store in Atlanta, the biggest, the baddest, the most decorative. At Christmas, they had the finest, biggest Christmas tree. They had a Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs in the one, and you watched the whole story where the little dwarfs was moved. They just had everything. Riches was it. And they had, of course, the Magnolia Room, which was the fine dining where the white women wearing their white gloves and their bags, and they would go there for lunch. And as a black person, all you could do is kind of stay your distance and peep in there. You can't get too close to the door, you can peep it, but you had to kind of peep from a distance. But Richards was the prime fine store. But as I said, they were not any more segregated than all of the other stores. All over Atlanta, there was segregation and harsh segregation. Colored water, colored restroom, white restroom. Black people couldn't try on clothes. Black children couldn't try on shoes. You had to measure your little shoes or measure your little dresses to see if you could wear them. And if you took them home, you could not return them, even if you had 20 receipts. So it was just that bad. So that was the target. So if you're going to target a store, why not Riches? That's their main store. Don't go to one of these little stores, it wouldn't matter. So they targeted Riches and gave Riches pure divine hell. And the students, I loved it, how they marched around Riches day and night. And it's very hard. It was hard for anyone to look at intelligent college students